All right. Okay, and we're live. Let me see if I can hear myself. Uh, okay. All right. Okay, and we're live. Okay. Let me see if I can hear myself. Let's go ahead and start with threats, attacks, and vulnerabilities. Uh, what is the main difference between farming and phishing attacks? Um, A. Farming involves physical theft, while phishing is a social engineering attack. B. Farming targets DNS servers, while phishing targets individual users. C. Farming relies on malware, while phishing relies on social engineering. Okay. Farming targets corporate business servers, while phishing targets home computers. Okay. All right.
It might be C.
Farming relies on malware, while phishing relies on social engineering. Okay. So let's break down what farming is again. If I remember correctly, that's just some sort of social engineering that requires farming, relies on malware.
Well, wait.
Um,
Well,
farming. Let's
phishing
see.
means to get information from someone, right?
Okay.
And then I'm not sure what farming is.
Okay. So I do have my notes. Farming is a web browser. Um, so I believe that is a if I yeah, it's like a malware that sits in your web browser. So that would be malware, and then while phishing relies on social engineering, and phishing is let's see, email, and that yeah, that's social engineering for sure. Uh huh. Yeah, let's go with C. Oh, B. Farming targets DNS servers while phishing targets individual users. Farming is a cyber attack that redirects a website's traffic to a fake site by exploiting a vulnerability in a DNS server. Okay. On the other hand, phishing is a social engineering attack that aims to obtain access credentials like usernames, passwords by tricking users. Right. While both farming and phishing are used for online identity theft, the target different entities. Farming targets DNS servers and phishing targets individual. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Um, I don't want to say that was hard, but it took us pretty long to get that one. I was doing my best not to rely on my notes in the beginning, even though it was right in front of my face. But I just it just couldn't come to me. So, what is the purpose of prepending in cybersecurity context? To encrypt the message content, to create a stronger password, to make a message appear more trustworthy, to hide the sender's identity. Uh, Prepending. I don't even know what prepending is. Do you?
No.
Prepending. Um, what is prepending? Since we both don't really know. In one
Well,
sentence.
pend means to wait, right?
Yeah, right. You would think prepending. Prepending is the action of adding an element or data to the beginning of a list, string, or sequence. Okay. To create a stronger password, to make a message appear more trust. to hide the sinner's identity to encrypt. Okay. So, I mean, now that we know what prepending, so again, prepending is the action of adding an element, or, well, actually, in the sense of cyber security. Let's see. I apologize, I'm not understanding. What is prepending in the context of cyber security? Okay. In the context of cybersecurity, prepending can offer a technique where additional data or characters are added at the beginning, file, or message to alter structures or bypass security measures. Okay. Well, there's the answer. All right. So it'd be C, to make a message appear more trustworthy in cybersecurity. Prepending refers to an attack attaches a trustworthy value, like RE, mailsafe, past. Okay. Uh, okay. That was hard. What is the primary purpose of a shoulder surfing in the context of computer security? To physically steal devices, no. To install malware on the victim's device, no. To obtain confidential information by observing the victim's actions. That one sounds really good. Or D, to impersonate the victim in online transactions.
I think it's C.
I do too. Correct. Let's see. So that was easy. Which of the following is not a common type of personally identifiable information, which stands for PII, that can be used in identity theft? Name. Yo, what's so funny, bro? Identity theft is funny? Oh, hell no. Name. Okay, so which of the following is not a common type? Okay, so name is, social security number is, bank account is, favorite color. Come on, bro. They're making this easy. C. All right, that was easy. What is tailgating in the context of social engineering attacks? Okay. Sending fake emails to gain unauthorized access. No. Following someone closely to enter a restricted area without authorization. That's a big maybe. Manipulating people into revealing confidential information. No. Spreading false rumors and manipulated persons. No. What do you think?
Definitely
B.
not B.
Definitely not B, bro. There's no way it's B.
Because B is piggybacking, not tailgating.
Oh no, I thought you were joking. It is B.
Yeah, I'm saying the answer is wrong.
Oh, he's big trolling. What is eliciting information in the
No,
context of
really. When you want to
What?
study for CISP, there's a difference between tailgating and piggybacking. This answer is incorrect.
Oh, are you serious? What? Okay,
It's
let
the
me.
answer he's going for. Just I'm saying the test is wrong. Go. It's the answer he wants. Keep going.
Okay, what is eliciting information in the context of social engineering attacks? What is eliciting information in the context? Okay, physically accessing a secure area by following someone with authorization. Sending emails to trick recipients into revealing sensitive information, extracting information through normal and innocent conversations, or using fake websites to steal login. So we know it's not D. Extracting information through normal and innocent conversations. What is eliciting information in the context? Eliciting. Well, let's break down what eliciting means. Eliciting is like, what is that? That's eliciting information. So I don't want to say stealing information. I think that'd be way too easy. Eliciting, maybe manipulating someone into giving you information overall. eliciting information in the context of social.
Us,
So basically, like,
yeah,
what is manipulating someone into giving you information in the context of social engineering, basically, and that would be extracting information through normal and innocent conversations, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
yeah. I think it would be C because when you solicit something, that means you are telling someone to do something. I guess I'm assuming listening means you're indirectly getting information from someone.
Hmm. Sweet. C. Okay, that was easy. What information is typically targeted in credential harvesting attack? Okay, I think we're. Oh, okay. No, I know the term for this, but companies' financial records, intellectual property and trade secrets, usernames, passwords, emails, addresses, and emails. Customer personal information such as an address and phone. So information. Yeah,
I'll
I
say
mean, so yeah, the basic stuff, right? Yeah, go ahead. What do you think?
C because it's like the most valuable things.
Correct, because a harvesting attack would be farming. Yeah, that's farming. So that's a malware that sits in your web browser, and typically we put in your usernames, passwords, email addresses, and email. Sweet, that was easy. What is a key characteristic of spear phishing attacks that make them more effective than generic phishing attacks? Okay. Well, what's spear phishing? I forget
Like
what spear phishing is again.
I'm assuming it's specific information. Like it's a very specific phishing attack.
So a very oh right okay so a very specific phishing attack that makes it more effective than a generic. Um. Okay.
For the purposes of CompTIA, it's like you're saying, it's personalized or targeted, as opposed to whaling, which is for specific executives individually. But there's really not a clear consensus on it. But yeah, B.
They use personalized emails and personal information about the target. Okay.
Yep.
Um.
Like you'd send it to the whole accounting department. That'd be spear phishing. But again, it's CompTIA thing, so yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Okay. I would say that was pretty easy. What is the primary purpose of footprinting in the context of cybersecurity? You want to take over? Who's the guy that's in here? Dark Souls. You want to read these answers?
Okay. I have music in the background. Sorry if it bothers anyone. Um, identifying vulnerabilities within a network, exploiting vulnerabilities to gain unauthorized access, gathering information about computer systems and their entities, launching a coordinated attack on multiple systems simultaneously.
Okay.
So,
Well, let's break down what footprinting even is in the context of cybersecurity. I guess that's like sort of
sure.
leaving a trace behind, correct? And like cyber
Uh,
crime.
it's um, it's like gathering fingerprints, like identities. So I'm not sure if it's A or C, honestly. Um, hmm.
Purpose of footprinting in the context. Identifying vulnerabilities within a network, or you said C, gathering information about a computer
I want to
system.
say C, but it's more identifying than gathering. But it's like banner grabbing and figuring out who that is. And I could be wrong here. So like I said, A or C, leaning towards C.
Yeah, because I don't think footprinting is anything exploiting, nor is it anything launching. Um,
Definitely not.
I
Yeah.
think identifying can correspond or correlate into gathering. So I would say C too.
Mm, maybe A.
Yeah, because it's like their computer systems and their entities, right? So their entities meaning like them, right? And then into their computer systems where they're, you know, using or performing the attack. identifying vulnerability, because it's like A, if we choose A, that's just merely identifying vulnerabilities within a network. Footprinting, I think, is more in getting information from an individual, not
Well,
in a
I
network.
think you use the footprinting to identify the vulnerabilities. So, it's
Mm,
either A or C for sure, toss up, but I lean towards C because it's like if you figure out it's an Apache running this version of PHP, then that's footprinting, but you may or may not have identified a vulnerability by doing so. So I can talk you into C, but could be either one.
yeah, I hear you. Okay, let's check it out. See, gathering information about a computer systems and their entities. Footprinting, also known as reconnaissance, is a technique used to gather information about a computer systems and entities they belong to. Hackers can use various tools and technologies to collect this information, which can be useful when attempting to crack an entire system. Awesome. CA. Oh no, there's really no like explanation. I'll say that was good. What is the main difference between farming and phishing attacks? Yeah, so we've been through this one, right, Nova? Farming is
Yep.
web, um, web malware. Phishing is email malware, more of social engineering. So I guess farming, the main difference would be that farming is an actual malware, whereas phishing attacks is social engineering, sort of malware. So farming involves physical theft. That's not true. Farming targets DNS servers, while phishing targets individual users. That is true. Farming relies on malware, while phishing relies on social engineering. That's also true. Farming
Yeah, B,
targets
B and C.
targets corporate businesses servers, while phishing targets home computers. Yeah, so we could definitely rule out A and B, B and C. Like, come on, dude. Why do they have to like? I mean, I guess if they want to be like real technical with it, it'd be B, because B basically, I mean, targeting DNS servers, that's already saying that it's a malware. So yeah, so it'd be 110%, no doubt about it. It's B.
B and C can both be true.
There we go. Easy. Novi, you want to read this one?
Okay. What is the primary difference between virus hoaxes and computer pranks? A. Virus hoaxes are harmless, while computer pranks cause serious damage to the system. B. Virus hoaxes are spread through social engineering, while computer pranks are spread through software vulnerabilities. C. Virus hoaxes contain real malware, while computer pranks are fake warnings. D. Virus hoaxes are typically harmless and spread through social engineering, while computer pranks involve unwanted and annoying actions on a computer. Computer pranks are spread.
Okay. So what is a virus? So what's a virus hoax? It's
Well, a
pretty
hoax is
much,
something that isn't real or
yeah,
fake, falsified.
exactly. And a computer prank. I mean, okay. This should be a really easy answer. What do you think it is?
I'll say it's probably D.
Yep,
I agree.
not best question, but yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. What is the purpose of prepending in a cybersecurity? What is this? I've never personally learning materials from them. So sorry, I wish I could help you.
Hey, Danny.
Hello.
This seems to be like a training for just general knowledge, which is pretty good.
So this one in
Yeah.
particular is Josh McAdore's flashcards for threats, attacks, and vulnerabilities. So everything that you're gonna see here is just those three topics.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of prepending in a cybersecurity context? I think we saw this one already. To encrypt the message content, to create a stronger path, to make a message appear more trustworthy, to hide the sender's identity. Okay.
I'm not sure I know what prepending means.
So,
Well, as a cybersecurity expert, you should trust what I say and definitely choose the correct answer, which is
Oh.
which is that's an example of prepending. That's bullshit, by the way. It's the trustworthy C. It's like where you get an email. It's like, hello, I'm your IRS agent. I'm reaching out, and I see your taxpayer ID is it's just appealing to authority, basically.
Yep.
No, but like the actual meaning of the word.
Um,
Sorry.
to append is to attach at the end. To prepend is to attach at the front. So, before you deliver the payload, the real message, you attach beforehand another payload, one designed to make them believe your second payload.
Oh, got it. Thanks.
It's a good
Yeah.
explanation. Which of the following techniques is not commonly used in phishing attacks? Well, we all know what a phishing attack is, correct?
I do. Yeah.
Yep. So, A, creating a sense of urgency by threatening to close a victim's account. B, using fake news articles to trick victims into clicking malicious links. C, impersonating a trusted entity to trick users into revealing sensitive information. Or D, encrypting sensitive data to render it unreadable without a decryption key.
I'll
Hello?
say D.
I saw D
Encrypting
too.
sensitive data to render it unreadable without a encryption key. Yep. What is the most effective measure to protect against spam and instant messaging? Make your M username and well, okay. Let's break down what a spam is. Spam is spam and instant messaging. What is that?
I'm not exactly what spam is.
Spam.
It's like is it fuck. Hang on.
Let's read the answers. Maybe it might ring a
Wait,
bell.
wait, 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 wait.
Spam.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have
D.
either avoid sharing your M username and contact information and be cautious with your buddies list. Okay, that sounds like something that makes sense with instant messaging and protecting yourself and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Encrypt all VoIP calls. Well, that doesn't sound right because that's calls. We're talking about like instant messaging. Use a reputable service provider to view relevant. Make your IM username and contact information public. That's the last thing you want to do. So I would also agree that it's D, and I'd also say it's easy, considering those answers kind of like told us in a way. What is the primary
Okay.
strategy behind a watering hole attack? A watering hole attack. What is that? Watering hole.
Come on, somebody else.
Watering hole.
Professor, come on.
Watering hole. I think if I say it a few
Danny?
more times, it'll come to me.
Danny?
Watering
No,
hole.
Danny does Net Plus. I'm not doing Sec Plus, so I don't know yet. So
If you wanted to attack a target, oh, go ahead, Taz, you're here.
Toztec doesn't answer to Professor.
I said Taz.
You said, go ahead, Prof.
That was in chat.
yeah. Go ahead, Dad.
Professor Toztec, can you answer this one?
Watering a hole attack, if you picture it as like an animal is poisoning a water supply, somewhere everybody goes for the same information, where you can hit a large group of similar targets at once, like a watering hole.
And a good example is like the Pentagon has like a Pizza Hut and a Taco Bell specifically so that employees don't wander off and go to Pizza Hut and Taco Bell nearby where they could be more easily attacked.
Wow, that's really creative of the Pentagon.
Taco Bell free Wi-Fi 2302.
Yeah. And it is not that expensive.
How are you doing today, Taz?
Not too bad.
Okay, so it's either A or B.
Oh, I didn't even read the question. Yeah.
I do not
C,
believe it's
C.
A or B.
Yeah, it's C.
Infecting websites frequently used by the target's organization with malware. Okay.
Yeah, that's the place they're going.
Water hole
Well,
attack involves an attacker identifying the websites an organization frequently use and then infecting one or more.
These are actually pretty good quality questions.
Yeah, I watch Josh McAdoo. I like him. This
Yeah.
is the WGU guy, right?
Yeah, he's good. I actually have the link too if you guys want the whole deck.
I mean, I'll take it.
Then I'll send it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Your mic is awesome, by the way.
Me?
Yes. Well, minus a little bit of muffling that might be range, and the voice quality is amazing. I'm assuming this is a studio level mic.
Yeah. Yeah, your mic is a little fuzzy, but your voice is pristine. Who do I send this to?
Can you
Send it to
me,
Kyle.
please?
Kyle.
Oh,
I see
yeah.
you there. Sweet.
Could you send
Appreciate
it to me as well?
Flora? Yeah. Okay.
Danny, have you been
Yeah.
good today?
And not fuzzy, muffled, just distant.
Okay, let's continue.
Wait, did you send me too? Please.
Okay. Danny.
Sorry,
Paste.
thanks.
Nope.
Thank you.
Good. What is the primary characteristic of pretexting as a social engineering attack? Involving the use of typo squatting to trick users into visiting malicious websites, creating a situation to trick victims into revealing private information, exploiting software and vulnerabilities to gain unauthorized access to a system, or D, sending phishing emails to the target's organization's employees.
Oh. I don't know.
B?
I like A or B.
I
believe B.
B.
I think Professor said A, so
Why? Involving the use of typo squatting to trick users.
So to define pretexting and typo squatting.
Yeah, let's do that.
Typo squatting is like, for example, you go to a website but it's spelled incorrectly.
Kiwi.
So like Bank of America was spelled Bank of America or something.
yeah,
Bank of
it's
America.
when they get a domain that's similar. So if somebody types it in wrong, it'll redirect to their domain, and then they have
Yeah,
a
but-
similar web page.
So that is typo squatting. Now define pretexting.
That's when someone pretends to be someone or creating a situation that doesn't exist.
Oh shit! Sorry. No, that's prepending. I was okay. I am good. Sorry. For some reason, I just second guessed myself. That would be prepending.
So what I said would be prepending.
I
Did I-
believe so, unless I am mixing things up in my head.
Yeah, so
Pretexting should be when you add additional letters to the start of a domain name. So instead of google.com, it would be www.google.com.
yeah,
Follows the top level domain name.
and
Okay.
prepending refers to like a whole trustworthy aspect of getting what you want through.
A message, not just a letter.
Okay.
So I think it would be A. I agree with
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
guys.
and it would be A.
Hey, yo.
Ooh.
I mean,
Creating a situation to trick victims into revealing private information.
No,
So what is the primary
disagree.
characteristic?
Fuck that.
Oh yeah, that's blatantly wrong.
Wait, what do you?
Yeah,
That's whoa,
They-
that's
Look at the
really
link
bad.
they have there. Typo squatting.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Typo
He
squat-
meant A.
Yeah, he meant A. We're not gonna beat him up, guys. Come on. We're gonna say
Yeah.
I'm wondering if
there's-
he did the same thing where I second guessed myself on prepending versus pretexting.
maybe. What is the primary purpose of footprinting in the context of cybersecurity?
You mean reconnaissance?
Yep, we done this one.
Oh, we did.
Identifying vulnerabilities within
Kiwi, what's the answer?
Let me look at it. I'm not looking. Primary purpose of footprinting in the context of cybersecurity. C. Gathering information.
Yeah,
I concur.
I concur.
Okay.
Aw. That was
See?
fun that night. Everyone concurred.
Gathering information.
It's like a team effort.
Team effort. What factor primarily contributes to the prevalence of pretexting amongst social engineering attacks? Okay. The ability to exploit software vulnerabilities, the use of phishing emails to gather information, the manipulation of human behavior to gain access to information. No.
That's Kyle. That's
reliance,
not for this one, right?
the reliance on, sorry? The reliance on typo squatting to redirect users to a malicious website. I'm going with D.
I like D
No,
also.
I think it's C, manipulation of human behavior.
That would be pre-pending.
No, prepending is adding extra letters, like prepending an email.
No, that's
I
pre-texting.
just Googled it. We did have it backwards. He is correct.
But you are right. It's just pre-pending is trustworthy, and pre-texting is the letters. So it'd
No,
be D.
pretexting is creating a story.
Whoa, dude, what? The manipulation of human.
Yeah, that's the.
It's like context and pretext.
Yo,
We were swapping them
Pending is
backwards.
like appending.
no. Wait, pre-texting.
Yeah,
Hold
is
on.
adding the stuff in the
Pretexting
front.
is a
the
social
previous
engineering
in the
technique
front.
where an attacker fabricates a false identity. Oh, so it is backwards.
Yes,
Pre-pending
it is.
refers to an attacker. Oh, I thought you were agreeing with me, so it made me that much more confident.
In the previous question, we were doing it, and then I started double guessing myself, and I had to Google it. Prepending is the typo squatting form, and pretexting is the social engineering side of it. Even though in a previous question, I think earlier they used those backwards when it talks about sending in a text message to say, "Hey, I'm the IRS." If you remember that example.
Yeah. Oh man, that like.
I'm all fucked up now.
Yeah, dude, that mind fucked me. Wouldn't it make sense too? Pre-texting, typo squatting? It just sounds right. It just sounds like it'd work with it. But look, let's.
I want to go with you because I kind of rode my high horse and defined both of those and had that whole little session where I looked like an idiot after.
Love you, Scott. Don't worry.
Okay, so yeah, pre-texting is the manipulation of behavior to gain access to information. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna say hard. What is the primary strategy behind a watering hole attack? We done this one. Someone mentioned it was infecting websites used by the targets, compromising the target's account. Yeah, it'd be C, correct?
Charlie.
It's this answer's C, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Charlie for correct.
Okay.
Was this free or did you pay for one of his like
No,
courses?
this is free. I'll send it to you now. Wrong one. Okay. Let me write that down actually. Okay, let's move on. What makes influence campaigns a dangerous new paradigm? Help, please.
Paradigm?
Whoa, I gotta stop the live. Paradigm in cybersecurity. They're highly visible and easy to attribute. They rely solely on traditional warfare techniques. They're secretive, deniable, difficult to distribute, and can severely influence public opinion. Or they only target individuals, not businesses or governments.
I think A.
A. They are highly visible and easy to attribute. Why?
This is like social media people saying like the virus isn't real. Virus is real. It just polarizes, but they get viral and they spread it a lot.
I could see
So
that.
it is highly visible, but is it easily attributable to who started it or who said it?
That's true. Is it easy to go viral when you do make claims like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. I think they rely solely on traditional warfare techniques. They are secretive, deniable. I don't think we can roll B and C and severely influenced by a public opinion. Maybe not roll off C.
I may have misinterpreted, but I went for Charlie.
No, it's the influence campaign.
So don't think of this as don't think of
Oh,
this as a social media influencer. Think of this as the
it,
actor or threat actor behind an influence campaign to affect politics or public perception. You don't know who started it. They're not anybody can deny that they started it. You can't really say who started it to attribute blame, and it can severely impact public opinion.
got you.
So are we gonna say either C or B?
C.
C. I like C.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're secretive, deniable, difficult to attribute, and can severely influence a public opinion. Influence campaigns are a dangerous new paradigm in cybersecurity because they are secretive and deniable, making them hard to attribute. Okay, they can also significantly influence public opinion, making them a potent tool in hybrid warfare that combines traditional warfare techniques with hacking and influence campaigns. That's dangerous. I'm gonna say good. How bad? How do bad actors amplify their influence campaigns using social media?
What do they mean by actor in this case?
A bad actor. How does a bad actor amplify their influence campaign? I think someone with malicious intent, right?
I suppose so.
So let's try that logic for a moment. So how does someone with malicious intent amplify their influence campaigns using social media? A, either by targeting only on one social media platform. I don't think one is going to do it. B, by creating multiple fake accounts. Okay, now we're talking. By content on various sites. That's really good, and relying on real users and mass media to spread this message. Now that sounds right. By limiting their activities to traditional media outlets, no. By only using their personal accounts to post, no. I'm going
B.
with B. Okay. Okay, B was right. Which of the following statements best describes the impersonation method in social engineering? Okay. Impersonation attacks always involve emails or phone calls?
No.
No, that's correct. Impersonation attacks rely on people's trust and involve the attackers playing a known role to the user?
Yes.
That could be it. Impersonation attacks only target the technical vulnerabilities of a security system? I mean, yeah, but not necessarily. Impersonation attacks do not require any preparation or planning. I think they do.
Yes,
I know
they
they
do.
do. So B. Nice. Nova, you want to read this one?
What factor primarily contributes to the prevalence of pretexting among social engineering attacks? A. The ability to exploit software vulnerabilities. B. The use of phishing emails to gather information. C. The manipulation of human behavior to gain access information. D. The reliance of typo squatting to redirect users to malicious websites. Same. Either C or D. Probably D.
Okay. Would anyone else like to chime in? If not,
You
that's
want to
cool.
say pre-texting is when you create a situation? Or was it the other way around?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
like
let's clarify that. Pretexting is a social engineering attack.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's C.
See? The manipulation of human behavior to gain access to information. Okay.
Yeah, C because we're pretexting human. People generally just go to the thing that looks familiar, so see what kind of makes sense.
This goes back to hey, this is Joe. I'm calling from your bank. We've seen a poor transaction on play. We want to make sure and verify that this is you. We have sent you an email with a verification code. Can you please reply to make sure it's accurate? They're putting a bunch of pretext in to make you trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good reasons. I'll say C too. What is the primary characteristic of pretexting as a social engineering attack? So we're repeating questions here. That's how Anki works. If you guys haven't noticed yet, whenever I deem that the answer was either hard, easy, or whatever, it'll repeat it unless I click easy. Some of these answers have been hard, so we're seeing them again. But in the sake of the whole study group, I'm going to start saying the answer is easy, even if I get it wrong. So that way you guys are seeing new questions, because some of these answers are easy to you, but not really easy to me.
I
You
don't.
know, just as the devil's advocate there, keep in mind this is your study group. You started this. We're studying with you. You don't need to cater it down to us. So if you are finding these difficult, there's nothing wrong with us sitting through a few of these that some of us may find easy, but like do what you need to do to study, and we're here with you.
Yeah, that's true. Are you guys all okay with that?
Yeah, dude. We don't mind.
Kind of good with
Yeah,
that.
for sure, man.
Sweet. So, what is the primary characteristic of pretexting as a social engineering attack? So, we already just said earlier, pretexting is a social engineering technique. So, that would be definitely not A, that damn typo squatting. It will be creating a situation to trick a victim into revealing private information. I'm going to go with B.
That
Yeah.
would be a good bet.
Which social engineering technique involves creating a fake website similar to an original one to deceive the user? Okay. So we know what tailgating is sort of what is that? Kind of lurking in the shadows for information, like in a way following someone to find information. Baiting, I think it's kind of within the name. Maybe you're setting up a trap to get information. Vishing is what is vishing again? I have it here in my notes. No, I don't. But if I remember, I think it's sort of malware that's in code, and or at least in a website in particular. It's a particular malware that sits in a website. And then
I hate the word malware with it, but if phishing is a means to extract credentials or otherwise information that you think you are putting in a legitimate site. So every time you get that email that there's been an issue with your PayPal transaction and click here to log in, and it brings you to a page that looks like PayPal and acts like PayPal, but is not PayPal, will be phishing.
Okay. And then impersonation. So let me reread that again. Which social engineering attack involves creating a fake website? Okay. To deceive another one. I would say A. Right?
I would pick B for this, I believe.
Vishing? Oh, because isn't vishing just farming, and that's extracting that sort of sensitive like user password, not necessarily redirecting you to a fake website, or is that or does that go with it? It does.
Depending on the context here, it sounds like they are setting up a website to mimic or replicate a website. They don't necessarily refer to the means in which you get the link to it to follow it, but I think the context is there. I could be wrong. I'm gonna go with that. Impersonation is generally done as a person, not an object or organization. Well, it could be an organization.
Okay.
And that,
What'd you say, Nova?
and that objects could impersonate another thing.
I think they can,
Because
but
it's saying
yeah.
which technique involves creating a fake website similar to the original one to deceive the user.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
you know that you could argue. Yeah, that could be an argue. It's the act of creating the website, not having people follow it.
Yep. Okay. Let's.
I would
Tuesday.
do
What would you do?
fishing.
Phishing. Well, you were right. Phishing involves creating a fake website or communication that closely resembles an authentic one to deceive you. Oh, so it's particularly like for that. And and login information. And so sensitive data as well. So okay. Let me write that
Well,
down.
like a huge category, and then one type of phishing is typo squatting. So, this is technically the definition for typo squatting, the creation of a fake website that closely.
No, to be clear, typo squatting is not one that looks like the website. It's where the URL looks like the original.
Yeah.
And just based on your description earlier of tailgating, you should take a peek at option D. I thought I heard you say something like following to get information. Generally, it's used to breach a physical access restriction.
Yeah.
Like I follow behind you just as you open the door.
Right, let me take a look at that. So tailgating is a physical security breach where an unauthorized individual follows an unauthorized person into a restricted area. Okay, so it's not just like, I see. It does not involve creating fake websites or communication. Okay. Let me write that down as well.
You also commonly see piggybacking as another use case similar to tailgating, in which in which the actor is the person that works there gaining somebody else access to the facility.
Wait, what's the difference between piggybacking and tailgating?
So tailgating is where the bad actor follows an unsuspecting individual into the building. So you walk up, you swipe your badge just as the door's closing. You know, Joe comes right in behind you, smooth as can be. Piggybacking, the easiest. This is a poor way of describing it. Is where you're acting in unison. Somebody's letting you into the building. I'm finding a poor way of wording this. Picture all those cheesy Three Stooges videos back in the day where three people are standing up and they're wearing a coat over all of them. It's a really crappy analogy, but it's me providing you unauthorized access into the building, like on purpose.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Taz, you care to read this question?
Sure. Which principle of social engineering involves using other people's actions or decisions to justify the attacker's requests? Options are authority, consensus, scarcity, or familiarity. I'm not. Which principle involves using other people's actions or decisions to justify the attacker's request? I would be leaning on B, I think, here.
Okay, why?
I may be misunderstanding it. I'm not getting the right context, but it's the, social engineering involves using other people's actions or decisions to justify the attacker's request. They did it because these other people did it, which would be a group decision. Scarcity doesn't make sense to me. Familiarity doesn't make sense to me. Authority is the only other one that's there, and it's not that they were told to do it.
Okay.
I'm not really confident on any of the answers here, but that's the only one I would pick.
Okay. I agree with you. Consensus, right? So I see that word as like having pre-designated options, and there's a consensus for you to either abide or follow them in a way. So that's kind of how I see it. So I would also agree that it's B. So consensus, also known as social proof, is a principle of social engineering where the attacker refers to other people's actions or decisions to justify their own requests. Okay. They may tell the target that their coworker was able to provide the requested information previously, implying that it should be accepted for the target to do. Okay, so that is similar to what I said, implying that it should be accepted for the target to do the same. It's like sort of coercing someone to do something. What makes influence campaigns a dangerous new paradigm in cybersecurity? Okay, I know we just did this one. They are highly visible to and easy to attribute. No, they rely solely on traditional warfare techniques. No, they are secretive, deniable. Blah 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 blah. C. I'm just gonna go over that one just because you guys have already done that one. Which social engineering principle exploits the victim's lack of knowledge about uncommon attacks to gain unauthorized access to their files? Authority, sacredity, familiarity, urgency. So yeah, which principle exploits the victim's lack of knowledge to basically get what they want? Definitely not authority. Scarcity. That's I'm not really sure if that's like the act of something that like stems of being scared of something. Scarcity, or is that like something that's
Scarcity means like limited.
Hey, don't laugh at me, dude. Go ahead.
It's like when you're on Amazon or eBay and it's like there's only 4 more left, there's only like 3 more left.
Uh-huh.
That's scarcity.
Okay.
Be scared of somebody.
Bro, next time I want to chat GPT it before I say it.
Don't even waste your time, bro.
Scarcity
Just say it.
refers to the fundamental economic concept where the availability of a resource of good is limited or insufficient relative to the demand or desire for it. Okay. So I would say D.
I would agree with you.
And it was B. Scarcity. In the context of social engineering attacks, refers to the exploitation of a victim's lack of knowledge about uncommon or rare attacks. Due to the victim's unfamiliarity with these types of attacks, they're less likely to recognize the threat and take necessary precautions. As a result, attackers can more easily gain unauthorized access to their files and cause data loss. I mean, what in the world is that explanation?
So their argument is that their knowledge of attacks is scarce. They know very little. There's very little knowledge available.
Huh.
That's some good English twisting.
Wouldn't that be familiarity though?
Familiarity is more like, right now we talk about how we're studying for these things together, and by the way, I got this cool file at the lab for Sec Plus that I'll send you if you want to try it. Build up that rapport with somebody.
What was the question?
So Which social engineering principle exploits the victim's lack of knowledge about uncommon attacks to gain unauthorized access to their files?
Okay.
I'm still kind of like boggled on that because
I mean, kind of like a weird question to like start applying these principles to, I think.
yeah, I think it's a reach to use that answer. I think it's a reach.
Is scarcity like one of the official terms? Because I usually use like social proof.
So
Hmm.
I don't know. Do they have that on the objective? Because it looks
They
like
probably don't because a lot of what this
So,
is
social proof is consensus, by the way.
Oh, dang.
yeah. How can
But
attackers? Let's just move on. But that is the answer. And now I know
Oh,
what scarcity means, so that's good. How can attackers exploit familiarity, liking to successfully execute a social engineering attack? A, by pretending to be a known individual or organization. B, by creating a sense of urgency. C, by exploiting the victim's lack of knowledge about uncommon attacks. Or D, pretending to have a power or control over the victim. Someone said A.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I can get behind that. No homo. All right. How do social engineering attacks exploit trust to deceive victims? A, by using advanced technical exploits to compromise systems. B, by providing realistic looking false information or platforms. C, by exploiting known vulnerabilities in software. Or D, by using brute force techniques to guess passwords.
B.
B, by providing realistic looking false information or platforms. Okay, I agree.
Those questions that I think if A, C, and D weren't as obviously exclusionary, I don't know if I would have picked B from a list of other ones.
What principle of social engineering involves creating a sense of urgency to persuade the target to act quickly? See some new faces in here, so if you guys care to chime in, I'll let you guys figure this out, but most of us already know the answer here. Seeing as though we've already got this answer already. Okay.
C uses fear, right?
Oh, dang. I was thinking A and C, yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see it being A or either C, but I think I'm gonna go C here.
Okay.
Okay. C it is. C was right. What is the primary technique used by advanced ransomware to extort victims for payments or for a payment? Deleting files from the victim's systems, encrypting the victim's files, overloading the victim's network, or modifying system settings. Okay.
B.
B, encrypting the victim's files.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I agree. Which of the following statements is true about Trojans? They propagate themselves by injecting their code into other files. They can only spread through email attachments. They mislead users about their true intent. Or D, they always act as ransomware. I'm going to go with A. break it down.
I was gonna say C because I feel like A.
I would go with C.
They mislead users about their true intent. Okay.
These are some weird questions.
I can see why A could make sense though.
No, typically Trojans are like injecting code into their files would be something else. Would be like a different kind of
Worm would be the general definition
Yeah.
for A. But I mean, reading the question, the concept of hiding inside something else, I can see why the I goes to there for Trojan. But yeah, I would pick.
Okay. Yeah, I'll change my answer. I'll go with T as well. A Trojan is a type of malware that misleads users. Okay. It can be disguised or a legitimate software or file. Okay. Go ahead and copy that. Easy. What differentiates a computer worm from other types of malware in terms of its propagation method? A, computer worms require a host program to spread. B, computer worms rely on user interaction to spread. C, computer worms replicate themselves and use networks to spread. D, computer worms spread through email attachments only. So we know we know D isn't true. Computer worms replicate themselves using. I don't think C is true. I don't think that's because it can also it could replicate itself through like your files and your registry. Doesn't really need your network. Computer worms rely on user interaction to spread. Yeah. Or no, once it's in there, it's in there. It's doing its thing. It's just gonna replicate once. Computer worms require a host program to spread. No. Seems like it's what difference or what difference?
I was gonna say C.
Oh, it's
C
what,
would also be my bet.
oh, it's what differentiates a computer worm from other types of. Okay, computer worms replicate themselves, right? So I was explaining what it was. I thought that was the question, but no, it's saying what's the difference between this and other malware, and
Like what makes it different from other types? Especially how does it propagate?
correct. Computer worms replicate themselves and use networks to spread. Oh. Okay. All right. C it is. C is right. Computer worms replicate themselves and use networks to spread. A computer worm is a standalone malware program that replicates itself to spread. It uses computer networks to spread itself, relying on security failures. Okay. No, but you want to read this one?
Which of the following best describes the negative effects of potentially unwanted programs? PUPs always cause severe damage to the user system. PUPs compromise privacy, weaken security, and may display intrusive advertising. PUPs only deliver unwanted advertising to users. PUPs are always malicious software created by hackers.
C.
PUPs only deliver unwanted advertising to users. Why? Why do you think it's C?
Well, it's saying it's only delivered. Maybe it's. I would say maybe B. B is a better answer. B is definitely a better answer.
PUPs compromise privacy, weaken security, and may display intrusive advertising. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a better answer to me.
Well, what is a PUP? What does it stand for?
Potentially unwanted program.
Okay. Then I can agree that it being B as well.
Oh, it says it in the question, by the way.
Potentially unwanted program, right?
Yeah, cool.
What is the primary reason fileless malware is difficult to detect and counteract? A, it relies on social engineering techniques. No. B, it is always encrypted and hidden within other files. I think it could be that. It exists exclusively in computer memory and does not write to the hard drive. A fileless malware. Well, I think first we need to break down C. I think first we need to break down what a fileless malware is. Does anyone know?
It's exactly what it says.
What it says, yeah.
So I mean, like if you had a PowerShell program that wrote a variable into memory, that memory isn't saved to disk anywhere unless it's on the page file. So you use another program to write the malware to memory, and then it never gets scanned by conventional antivirus because it's never saved to disk. It's very performance expensive to scan RAM, so most AVs don't bother scanning it.
Interesting. That's a hell of a virus.
Very good explanation, yeah.
Yeah.
Another really good example of this would be a JavaScript Bitcoin miner. Kind of as a weird segue. That's running. It's doing its thing. You simply visited a site that's loading this in your memory.
How would you get rid of that?
Yeah. Restart. But you have things like persistence, like rootkits and other things that might reopen that page, but the malware is never actually on your computer. It's when you visit the page, the malware gets downloaded. So, it's a cat and mouse kind of game. It's an advanced technique and it has severe limitations. So it's not that effective generally. By the way, other than /spoiler, how do you hide it? I thought there was like something I could put around my text, like just quotes.
I believe it's a single pipe.
Yeah, there is. It's
with no
two
space.
pipes on each side. I'll put it on second. I like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, a single pipe quote?
Okay.
Gotta leave that double pipe.
Which social engineering principle exploits the victim's lack of knowledge about uncommon attacks to gain unauthorized access to their files? Authority, scarcity, familiarity, urgency.
A scarcity.
Okay. See some new people in here. And you guys all know why it's B, correct?
It's not B, so that would not be the right answer.
What do you think it is?
Yeah, it's C. Motherfucker. Disagree.
Yeah, we got this answer like 3 times now, but it could be wrong. I mean, I could see how it could be C too. We were arguing about that earlier.
Yeah, whatever.
The spin on this one, Dark Souls, you weren't here for the last one, was the context of scarcity in their scarcity of knowledge.
Or perhaps they didn't have the authority to know what scarcity was. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. It's fine.
In the context of computer security and cyber warfare, what does the term command and control refer to?
C2?
The influence and attacker as a compromised computer system. Okay, I can see that. The encryption methods used to protect data in transit, the process of securing sensitive data, the hierarchy within. I can see C.
Dun, 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 dun.
What is the primary purpose of a botnet? To provide a platform for legitimate software distribution? No. To perform distributed denial of service, a DDoS attacks, blah, 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 steal spam, and allow attackers access. Okay. to enhance the security of internet connected devices, or to monitor network traffic for potential security harms. Okay.
Oh, well, the government uses D, but I think B.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B.
I've
You
noticed a
guys-
trend on this platform that the longer, wordier answers tend to be the one.
Huh.
That's meta. It's very meta.
I can see that. B it is. Would someone like 3? Dart?
Oh, what differentiates a logic bomb from a trial program with disabled functionality after a set time, use of specific date for activation, presence of hidden malicious code, user's awareness, consent of payload, the ability to spread like a virus or worm. Well, an iCar is an example of a trial. Let's see.
So let's break down what a logic bomb is. First. Logic bomb. What is that again? I know I have it in my notes, but I don't wanna cheat
Trigger.
myself. Let me try to figure it out.
Malware with a trigger, usually date time, but could be event based.
Okay, fine, let's go with that. And then ask for a trial from a trial program with a disabled functionality after a set time. Huh. I have
So they're
no
trying to
idea.
point out in both of these cases, something happens after a set period of time.
I mean, I like C, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But
can see
I
it.
mean,
I think it's A.
Yeah, because it does talk about dates in A. And
but
these two.
activation, which the second half talks about deactivation.
Or the activation of deactivating those features.
I really hope that's not the fucking answer.
I don't think it's A. I think it's C.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's check it out. C.
Yeah.
The user's awareness and consent to the payload logic bomb is a piece of code initially inserted into a software system that triggers a malicious function when specified conditions are met. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the primary goal of a spyware? Everyone should get this. To encrypt user data and demand a ransomware? No. To gather information about a person or organization and send it to another entity in a harmful way? Maybe. To create a botnet for launching a DDoS? No. To delete or modify files or targeted computers? No. I'll say B.
I vote the wordy question.
I agree. It's a bit wordy.
Yeah, it's very like odd worded, but I think it's B.
Can't unsee that now, Toes.
I'm sorry.
So, okay, B is the right answer. What is the primary purpose of a keystroke logging?
It's called Windows.
To encrypt user data and demand a ransomware, to gather information on a person's keyboard, uses for research purposes, to record the keystrokes on a keyboard, typically covertly for monitoring or stealing information, or to create a botnet for launching a DDoS attack. I'm gonna go with C.
I mean, Windows does it, so by volume it's B, but they won't see.
To gather information on a person's keyboard uses for research purposes.
How did they do it?
I could see
You
that.
agree to it. One of the
Telemetry
options-
data.
Yeah, it's called what is it? Tailored inking or typing or something. You agree to it when you installed Windows.
I think you could
So.
choose to agree to it, but yeah.
You
I
can.
definitely,
You can.
I do remember that.
Turn it off. It turns back on though, but you can turn it off.
Oh, it turns back on. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about as easy to change as your default web browser nowadays.
What is the main characteristics of a remote access Trojan?
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm gonna have. I know
Kyle.
Dark Soul knows it. I know Zotes knows it. I know Nova knows it.
Come on,
Let's
Kyle.
let's see if Kiwi knows it. Or Kyle.
Aw.
Better yet, Kyle. What is it, Kyle?
Yeah, I know this one.
Oh, wait, stop.
Yeah, sure. What is the main
Kiwi
characteristic?
then. How about Kiwi? Let's get everyone involved. Huh?
C for
All right, everyone knew it. No fair.
this
Correct.
cantaloupe.
Yep, you're right. What makes rootkit detection particularly difficult? Rootkits cannot be detected by any antiviruses. Rootkits may be able to subvert the software intended to find them. Rootkits are typically installed on non-critical system files. Rootkits are only detectable when the system is offline. Okay, so we can definitely roll out C and D.
This is a bad question.
It is a bad question just because A and B can kind of be one whole answer.
Agree.
But I think they want to say
Then, well, would B be more specific then?
rootkits may be able to subvert the software intended to find them. Yeah, it would be more specific. I would say B.
No, I think B would be like, oh wow.
Rootkits may be able to subvert the software intended to find them, basically saying what A is saying. It can, basically make itself undetectable to any antiviruses, which is subverting. It is difficult because a rootkit may be able to blah blah. The ability to hide from a manipulated detection methods makes it challenging for security professionals to identify and remove rootkits from compromised systems. What is the one reason that backdoors are deliberately and widely known?
B?
So you said B?
Charlie.
To help manufacturers restore user passwords.
Charlie.
Well, a backdoor is what? Backdoor is when you find vulnerabilities within someone's like program and or like software, right? Or that is
but I wasn't saying Bravo, just to be clear.
I'm confused. What's going on?
To bypass encryption for law enforcement purposes.
Oh, okay. So to bypass encryption. Yeah. Yep. I could see that. I would go with C2. Oh! Your first answer was right. To help manufacturers restore user passwords, some backdoors
I
are
think
deliberately.
both are fair.
I think both are very fair. In fact, I think C's. I mean, come on.
I think C is the more modern answer.
But C's the more like modern. Okay.
Like I know. Yeah, I could defend C, but whatever. I'm glad B's the answer.
I guess you could put B into C. Because manufacturers restore. Well, then again, what? FBI organization isn't a manufacturing business. Okay.
Oh well.
I'm gonna give him a 3-star for this thing. What is the primary purpose of heap spraying and computer security exploits? What is a heap spraying?
I know what a heap and I know what spraying are.
What's a heap?
It's like a stack except for the other side. A heap is the garbage, messy, allocatable part of a stack.
Okay.
Yeah, it's maybe a bad answer. When you do a buffer overflow, you're sometimes exploiting a heap.
Okay. So like a lot of something?
It's a process. Let me see.
It's funny, he answered the question with his example.
To encrypt data in the target's process's memory. Huh. Well, that is to say if heap spraying has anything to do with encrypting. To facilitate.
What was the example he gave?
Sorry, what?
What was the example Dark Souls gave?
Something about
Buffer overflows.
yeah, buffer overflows. Yeah, I'm not seeing any sort of
Yeah.
buffer overflow though. Maybe
Mm,
to facilitate arbitrary code execution. No. To remove vulnerabilities from the target. No. To create a resource communication channel with the target. Yeah, it has nothing to do with buffer overflows or like
I would go with Bravo.
B
Me
to
too.
facilitate arbitrary code execution.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's the closest thing we're gonna get. Okay, so to facilitate arbitrary code, heap spraying is a technique used in exploits to facilitate. Okay. It works by locating large blocks in the target, process heap, and filling by the bytes in these blocks with specific values. What is the primary?
So the whole point is fill the buffer with useless information, so that when it overflows, it executes the arbitrary code you want it to.
What is the primary goal of a dictionary attack in cryptanalysis and computer security? Okay. So a dictionary attack is like some sort of like brute force, correct?
it's a limited brute force using a subset of likely possibilities.
Okay. And cryptanalysis is what?
Yeah.
I would guess analyzing. I'm not trying to be a smartass. Analyzing cryptography.
Okay. To exploit software vulnerabilities to compromise the network by flooding it requests to determine a decryption key or pass rates by testing a subnet of likely possibilities. So it would be C, right?
Yep.
The long one.
The long
the
one.
long
You
one.
can't unsee
Yeah.
it now, can you?
Yeah.
Just for clarity in regards to CompTIA stuff as well, you'll want to treat dictionary and brute force as separate things. They normally view brute force as mechanically trying a bunch of different combinations algorithmically, as opposed to a dictionary attack being trying a list of words, a dictionary of words specifically.
And if you ever want a 20-minute pet peeve of mine, rainbow tables are not the same as hash tables. But anyway.
Does anybody know how to do that?
Which of the following is true about offline dictionary attacks?
Of course.
Yeah, there's tons of ways to do it.
Let me DM you really quick.
Let me DM you real quick. I got a guy that I need you to handle. Take care of. Okay. Which of the following?
Kyle.
Which of the following is true off? No, Kyle. Which of the following is true about offline dictionary attacks? A. Attackers can try key combinations without the risk of discovery or interference. B. Attackers are limited in the number of attempts they can make. C. The user multi-factor authentication is an effective countermeasure. Or D. Account lockout policies are ineffective against offline attacks. Well, we know what a dictionary attack is and which one is, and we do know that the account policies are ineffective against an offline attack. Really sure the use multi-factor authentication is an effective countermeasure. It's true. Attackers are limited in the number of attempts they can make. Attackers can try a key combination without the risk. Maybe B?
I don't think it's B or C.
I would go with A, and I would also preface, I think, this question, which is, which of the following is the most true about dictionary offline dictionary type?
I think
Okay.
A and D are both true. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they're okay. I see what their game is. They're doing a lot of um answers that are right. It's just like what is the, not necessarily the best, but what kind of corresponds into the other question that's given or the other answer that's given. And for us to, because you're like you said, right? A and B are both true. It's just it's
And-
A kind of already explains B.
No, no. Bravo is false. Charlie is false. Alpha
Delta.
and Delta are true.
Wait, which one's right?
Alpha and Delta.
And D. So account lockout policies are ineffective against offline attacks. Attackers can try key combinations without the risk discovery. Oh, I see. But yeah, still the same logic.
A is still the most apparent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the longer.
Correct answer is A. Attackers can try key combinations without the discovery or interference. I'm glitched. I don't know what's going on here, but I have to like highlight it now. Which of the following countermeasures can prevent online dictionary attacks? Limiting key combinations that can be tried, increasing the answer's complexity, requiring the users to enter their email address, preventing an IP address from attempting too many password attempts.
Only one of them prevents, the others extend.
Right. Preventing an IP. Requiring.
Fail to ban.
I love fail to ban.
Okay, so D.
Yep.
D is right. Why is it doing this? Okay, what is the primary purpose of a rainbow table in the context of computer security?
Motherfuckers.
To intercept and analyze encrypted communications, to pre-compute the output of a cryptographic hash functions for cracking password hashes, to flood a network with requests to compromise its security, to determine a decryption key or passphrase by testing a subset of likely possibilities. So, what is it?
They're not wrong. It's not wrong here. But it's teaching you the wrong explanation.
Okay, so what do you think it is and why?
It's B. They're relating it to a hash function. When rainbow tables use a reduction function, hash table is better for someone who has a lot of memory and low CPU. A rainbow table is better for someone who has high CPU, GPU, and lower memory. So I mean, it's not wrong. It's Bravo, but I mean, it's kind of important to know why you use one or the other, depending on what type of rig you're using.
It's pathetic now, but I used to be able to brag back in the day that I had a 160 gig MD5 rainbow table, and now that's just laughable. I could fit on the USB stick.
160 gig is good for a rainbow table because it's not that big.
But back then, that was huge.
I know. I had a 1 gig flash drive I was very proud of.
Okay. B was correct. In the context of cryptanalysis, what is the primary objective known as plain text attack (CompTIA)? Known as plain text attack. Can someone elaborate on what that means? ChatGPT it is.
Well, it means you know what the password is, and you have the hash. But I don't. I'm reading what the options are.
We'll be right back.
It's the long one. So if you have the plain text and the encrypted ciphertext, you can reverse engineer things like initialization vectors. And don't use CBC.
I feel I spoiled these for some people by really pointing out the long wordy question thing.
I mean, to be fair, I don't feel like this corresponds to any exam I've seen or heard of. Just good information, like great information.
I do find that it's trying to test your knowledge of a subject, not just get an immediate answer. There's been a couple really good questions in here.
Oh yeah, this is well worth people's time.
Yeah, I like it.
I have a SHA 512. I've been meaning to crack for a while. Just haven't been bothered.
Ooh, scary hacker.
Me, stupid IT help desk, but same difference.
You help this?
No. And yes, I'm a small business guy, so I'm everything.
This is the perfect answer. No and yes.
As little as possible.
I had that great moment end of the day. I have to wait till production's down to replace a switch. Download a config, upload a config to the new switch, swap it, turn it on, don't think anything, get ready to leave for the day, and then people are telling me the phones aren't working. So I have to tell my wife I'm going to be late for dinner because that had to happen at the end of the day.
That sucks. Is it the same type of switch as the other one, or?
Yeah, I've got to rip it more apart tomorrow. I have a feeling it's some stupid auto VoIP VLAN setting. I'll have to look.
You guys still doing the questions?
Yeah, I think Sharkboy, you're chat GPTing this shit, right?
I don't know if he's here. Guys, I made a new lab if you want to try it when you get a chance. Get a post.
I hit me up tomorrow, or maybe I'll take a peek tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Anyone here heard of iCar files before? In chat.
No, I haven't.
It's,
What else?
it's in chat. EICAR is what I remember. You can Google it if you want. It's made by some European institute where they'll make malware that it doesn't actually do any harm, but it still matches the signature of the malware. So like you can test if your AV or whatever would detect it without actually risking damage to production.
It's incredibly handy, except that the majority of next gen firewalls by default now allow it. So you have to go through and think your gateway antivirus isn't working until you disable its EICAR bypass.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got a Sophos from last time we spoke. I'm pretty sure I had to go in and specifically enable that so I could make sure and test that it was working on the Sophos.
I have this really interesting and annoying thing. I remember last time we were talking about how I learned that there's an actual permanent PowerShell history that gets created for each user, including system users. Um, mine keeps getting flagged, quarantined, and deleted by my antivirus, but it keeps coming back, and I'm wondering how it keeps coming back because it comes back with the full history. don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Being stored somewhere.
Roaming user profile?
I don't remember if it's in roaming or local or whatnot, but it's very old. It gets deleted and it reappears. And it's not roaming like a traditional roaming stored somewhere else. Like it's just local.
No, I meant more on user login downloads your user profile from the domain controller, overrides it, and then it
Right,
gets wiped out just locally and
Right.
doesn't replicate back.
Does not happen. Should not be happening for this account anyway. I'll go check that. It's a good idea.
Sounds like a mechanic you can exploit when you figure it out.
Yeah. Good digital forensic kind of thing to know. Shark boy, you there? He made noise. He's alive.
And I'm back. You guys ready to continue?
Yes.
Sweet. Did you guys pick an answer for this?
Long one.
Long one. To reveal further secret information such as secret keys and code books by having access to both plain text and ciphertext. Okay. The long one it is.
God damn, Toast Tech cracked the code.
Which of the following is a physical attack that involves adding additional electronics inside a USB cable or flash drive to trick the operating system into recognizing it as a human interface device?
It's not the long one.
No fucking way. Again. Let's just go immediately with C. Yep.
Oh, it's the only thing that's been consistent about these
That's
questions.
insane. I mean,
Pattern
on.
recognition. It's a useful evolutionary trait. By the way, OMG cables. I want to buy one. They're $200. They're awesome.
It's on my list with a flipper zero.
According to the 2016 study mentioned in the text, what percentage of USB devices were plugged into computers by individuals who picked them up? Oh shit. No,
I'm
from
gonna
Josh.
go with the big
probably. Let's go with the big one. Yeah, 90.
No,
I
it's
don't think it's
disgusting
90%.
if that's true.
No, there's no way.
I don't
mean,
think
come
it's
on.
true, but I think it's the answer on here.
I think maybe
The other ones are too well rounded for it to not be D.
Yeah.
So
Come on.
what do you think?
I think I'm disgusted with. Oh, okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, I figured it'd be like maybe in between. Still bad. Still really bad. In cybersecurity, what is the
It's a
relationship?
lot better than we were all thinking.
Right? I guess it's just a text thing.
I think the longer you've worked in IT, the higher the percentage you think.
In cybersecurity, what is this relationship between card cloning and skimming? I'm just going to read C. Skimming is an attack used to gain card information, yes, which can be used for card cloning.
Go with that.
Let's go with it. And it is C. Okay, this is tragic. I need to reach out to Josh.
You can't
and let him
unsee it now.
all right, now B. What is an example of an advanced skimming method in cybersecurity? We'll read B. Installing a small electronic device called a skimmer inside an ATM or EFTPOS terminal.
Come on.
All right, fuck. No way.
No, like it makes sense too when it's written by a tech person because they're wanting to make sure that they're thorough, right, on the answer when it is, but they're not giving the same thoroughness to the filler answers.
It's not every person that does it, but when one person makes the whole thing by himself, it's easy to have something like this happen. She made this all by himself, I'm betting.
Yeah, I can see that. What is the potential risk of using poison training data during the machine learning process? The machine learning may not be able to sift through enormous amounts of data.
This one is not the long one.
Oh.
Wow.
Surprising.
Okay.
This is called Bayesian poisoning, by the way.
Bayesian poisoning. Noted.
Yeah. It's why Have you ever heard of Tay's law? Most AIs released without protection become very bad people very quickly on the internet if they're allowed to just learn everything. That's why the developers hard program them with things that are absolute facts, like that there are 140 genders. That is a fact. I'm just saying that to be controversial, but that is how it works. Otherwise, the AIs turn into racist Nazis in like 10 minutes.
Can you imagine if we let AI loose on Facebook and let it think that that was factual?
Tay's Law. Look up Tay's Law. Yeah, that was a Microsoft one. So they're programmed to believe certain things with absolute certainty, and you cannot convince them otherwise. And let's hope that none of those things lead them to kill all of us.
Okay. So A?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know if you.
Machine
Ooh,
learning may
but
not work properly.
Um.
I guess in the sense of it,
All
when they
right.
say not work properly, they mean like it could be recognized for malicious intent
Yeah. I don't
or
care. We
something
were
bad.
all right.
Yeah.
if you didn't see it, you need to Google the recent Air Force article about the AI that chose to kill the operator as opposed to the target because it was hindering its operational command.
Yeah. So my company works. We are not Boston Robotics or whatever, but we work with them sometimes. And they have like guns they mount on there, and then they have AIs decide who to shoot. So very good. So hopefully they use the right AIs and they never learn.
I think this one would be B in the sense of cybersecurity. Now, in the sense of data science, in the sense of um, machine learning, those things would be different.
Ooh, I don't know.
But specifically,
I'm stuck between B and C.
Specifically, cybersecurity. I think AI is only being used like, for the predefined set of rules and to identify and block threats. I mean, that sounds right.
I like B the most, but I'm not sure. We should go with C. It's the long one.
C. I swear to God, if it's C, an approach that uses previous data sets to create models that help identify and prevent threats. Actually,
I don't know.
I'm stuck between B and C.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. What is a supply
B.
chain attack? B. A cyber attack that targets only the financial sector. Yep.
Oh, wow, it's not D. Wait. You said B?
Yeah.
It's not B.
Is it the longest one?
It is not the longest one either, no.
Yeah.
It is the one that includes the question and the answer.
A type of ransom attack that demands payments to restore access to victims' data. Yeah, that would be C.
No.
No?
Not Charlie.
Not Charlie. Not B either.
Nope.
Not D. So it must be.
That only leaves A.
Process of elimination. We are geniuses.
Right. Okay, so.
Also, why multiple choice tests suck.
Supply chain. Cease damage. Secure elements in a supply chain, such as vendor, manufacturer, or distributor. Cyber criminals typically tamper with the manufacturing or distribution of products by installing malware. Got it.
Yeah. Thankfully, nothing we have is made in China.
A little too late.
No, that.
What are the advantages of storing data in the cloud as compared to storing it on a premises? So, what's the difference between cloud and cloud data? Or
Your
cloud
servers or to
storage
their
and
servers?
physical. Yeah, physical. Or well, then
To
again,
their servers.
so it's basically saying what's the difference between cloud storage and physical storage, correct?
What
Or
makes cloud storage better?
basically than physical storage. Got it. Lower cost, centralized security, and greater availability. That is true. Complete control, better expertise, and greater uptime. Not complete control when you're dealing with the cloud. More customizable security, physical access to servers, and a greater availability. That could kind of chime into A.
Come on. Someone else. Someone
No
else.
physical. Yeah, someone else. No, someone else.
Maybe D.
No physical access to servers, larger scale security.
I think I agree with you personally, but most companies, from the company perspective, wouldn't see lack of physical access as an advantage.
Correct.
As an IT who doesn't have to take care of the servers, I fully agree with you, but the company doesn't.
In the sake of
I
the
think it's
Yes.
in the sake of the context too.
Yes, Fleur says A. I agree.
I also agree. Correct answer is A.
Yeah.
What is a birthday attack? No.
Oh man.
Ooh, that's not even on the objectives anymore, is it?
I don't know.
No, it is. For a sec.
No, but what's so funny?
The question just sounds funny.
it's A.
It is A, which is not the longest one, but it's close.
Close. Cryptographic attack that exploits the mathematics behind the birthday problem and probability theory. It is
This is a birthday problem too. Like sometimes it's like the longest one, but you know sometimes it happens that it's a shorter one.
Well played.
Ooh, good job.
very good.
Birthday.
This is a funny name. What is the significance of collision attacks in cryptography?
The irony of that being back to back.
Good question. Yeah.
A, they allow an attacker to bypass authentication mechanisms. B, they allow an attacker to perform brute force attack. C, they allow an attacker to perform denial of service attack. D, they allow an attacker to encrypt data. What is the longest answer?
Let's do it.
A.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought C was longer. It looked a little longer. I guess if I like get closer to my screen, I can see it now.
So stick. Like this guy makes thousands of dollars selling this. Like
It's
he
crazy.
just ruined it.
It's absolutely insane. What is a downgrade attack? What is a downgrade attack? That's a really good question.
It's when you purposely. It's like you. I might say it wrong, but it's when you don't update your stuff, and then the newest version has like the patch to it, so you can exploit the system.
I don't agree with that.
Why not?
It is the answer that's twice as long as all the other ones.
It is. But Fleur, what do you mean?
Don't you like have, let's say you have 802.11 and but it could be down if your system, there is a way to downgrade it even though you're using 802.11 and because we have other devices that are 802.11 like B,
You're right.
there is a way to like
But
downgrade it.
you're correct about that's what a downgrade is, but a downgrade attack is usually related to the WPA2 or WPA3 more than like the like ABGN. You're right, that is a downgrade, but it's like
Right. Okay. I said let's
Even
say.
SSL to non-SSL would be another example.
yeah. It's the long one.
So MD5.
Yeah. So like forcing it to use WEP instead of WPA2, and then WEP, you crack that quick. Yeah.
So the long one.
Are you guys saying that like A and B and G can be secured?
G?
Yeah. Yeah, they can.
So for clarity, just because this always gets ambiguous out there, the level of encryption is not necessarily related to the wireless standard you're using it for.
Yeah.
So you can compare WPA2, WPA, and WEP, but you do not necessarily have to attribute any of them to any of the versions of the wireless standard.
And caveat, I don't think anyone here, we are not like super experts on this, but we are more than your average bear. And yeah, so like you can have WPA3 encryption on 802.11a, and you can have WEP encryption on 802.11ax, and it's like, well, just because one is AX and one is A doesn't mean that the encryption is the same. Like and it gets confusing because the data is encrypted, but not for security. It's encrypted for like efficiency between A and AX. But I mean, the security part is what matters.
Got you.
Yeah. Anyone knows better, speak up. But as far as I know. Yeah. Agent 66. He left. He
You ready?
left.
In the context of cryptanalysis, what is the primary objective of a known plaintext attack? We done this one? What was
Yeah, I
it?
think the answer was the longest one.
To reveal further secret information, such as secret keys and code books, by having access to both. Which of the following is a vulnerability that might give away or give a way for attackers to move around a file system? A null point.
Damn it! Like I'm just winning on the odds here.
It's not random.
Yeah. I think it's within the name. Directory traversal attack is.
You could argue the others, but there's obviously the best answer.
Yeah. Okay. Which of the following is the type of memory vulnerability that can allow an attacker to manipulate an application to crash or operate in an advantageous way? Oh.
This one breaks the mold.
So crash and operate. So cross-site is a script, malicious script.
Brazil in chat says buffer overflow.
Buffer overflow is like a DDoS. No,
Nope.
DOS. No. Buffer
He is
overflow.
correct. He is correct.
He's correct. I'm
He or
not gonna argue with
she.
that. Buffer
Yeah, the
overflow.
important thing: only one of those four options is a
Buffer overflow
crash.
is a type of memory vulnerability that can allow an attacker to manipulate an application, crash, or operate.
No. You could argue it's another thing. You could argue the others, but it's more primary.
Which of the following is an API-based
Oh
attack
my
that aims
God.
to manipulate an application programming interface to gain unauthorized access or bring down the application or system?
What the hell?
That would be, I mean,
You can tell the questions he put effort into because they're very long, and then you can tell the questions he didn't.
yeah, because it'd be an API attack, right?
Yeah, it would.
All right. Which of the following is a type of memory vulnerability that can result in the system's crashing or application failing?
Tricky.
Resource exhaustion attack.
Yeah, and that's what I'd go with.
Integer
No?
overflow attack. Okay, so an
I-
integer overflow is a type of memory vulnerability. Oh well, I mean, okay.
I like them both, so I mean, I'm not upset with this answer, but yeah.
Let me go ahead and grab that. Which of the following memory vulnerabilities might cause a system to crash or an application to fail?
It better
Well,
be C, because that was the answer to the last one. But it could also be D.
I think it's gonna be D.
Shut the fuck with us.
Yeah, right.
That'd be beautiful.
Whoa, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Well, you're right.
It's fine.
He is fucking with us though. Which of the following is a vulnerability that might allow attackers to read from different parts of a server, even areas of a server where normally they should not have access? That's some sort of memory leak, right?
That would be Bravo.
Yeah,
Directory
Bravo's the better
traversal
answer.
Attack. Okay.
C and D are
Web page
possible.
/ language equals / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / / /
You shut your mouth, sir.
Sorry?
I'm just fucking with you. I'm getting tired.
I am too. Maybe a few more and we can wrap this up.
What are you studying for, by the way?
Security Plus.
Oh, this is way different and good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of these aren't really on the objectives, and I'm echoing. But it's still good to learn.
Yeah.
What is an API attack?
Well,
Well,
as the professor says.
don't think it's A. B might be it. An attacker is trying to read from different parts of a server where they normally should not have access. That should read from different parts. I don't think it's C.
Maybe if we spell out the acronym, they won't notice.
What is the acronym? I have no idea.
Application Programming Interface.
Programming. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then it would be B. Or no, D. No.
What?
Because that's denial of
Long
service.
one. Come on.
The long one. I forgot all about that. Yeah. An API attack is when an attack. Okay, it's a manipulated application. Okay. I mean, it's within the acronym, so now I know. Which of the following is a denial of service attack that can often be done by a single device over low bandwidth?
Motherfucker.
API attack, no. Enter overflow is a type of memory vulnerability, so no. Memory leak. What is memory leak? What is memory leak again? And DHCP starvation. DHCP stands for. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What is
There's no clear answer here, but I think they're going with, I think C, but could be any of them.
What is C?
C is a resource exhaustion attack via memory leak, also known as a denial of service attack. But I mean, it could be any of these, but the low bandwidth criteria leads me to believe they mean C.
C it is then. DHCP
No,
starvation.
you're right,
A
Crizzo.
DHCP starvation attack is a denial of service. Denial of service attack that can be performed by a single device. Flooding network with IP. DHCP pool. This prevents other devices from obtaining IP address. Okay.
Go, Crizzo.
That's good to know.
To answer your question on memory leak, it's where a process, when it closes, does not free up all the memory that it did use.
Yeah, ChatGPT'd it. What is a memory leak? Here we go. Programming error issue where a computer program fails to release memory. Attacker crash. So when an attacker uses null pointer, but
Yeah, I agree, Chris.
Plays into a smaller.
He does not understand these concepts well based on how he's asking these questions.
Yeah, because the answer that I have here, what a memory leak is, doesn't really match entirely up with the answers he has. So a memory leak is a programming error or issue where a computer program fails to release memory that is no longer needed. Large plays smaller section. An attacker that tries to manipulate an attacker that uses a null reference to crash an application. Reads different parts of a server where normally it should not have access. This is insane. Because isn't
He
the
either
whole
he
purpose...
has not tried hard or he don't fucking get it. But whatever.
See, an attacker or an attack where an attacker uses null pointer dereference to crash an application or system. So that's what it's for, is to crash?
No, a memory leak is a programming term where you've coded something badly, and when your computer has a limited amount of memory, right?
Mhm.
And so you start a program, you close a program, and you expect like all the memory would come back, right?
Right.
If you program it badly, or if you can manipulate a program that's been not hardened, you can leave memory tied up, right? So then it's like you have 4 gigs of memory, and every time this program closes, you lose access to like 15 megs of it, right?
Right.
So then you just start the program like in a loop until it runs out of memory, and then the whole system crashes. And it's like, but the memory leak doesn't cause the crash. The memory leak is what's occurring in the memory. It's like he don't seem to get it. It's fine. Boom. Boom has arrived.
Which of the following memory vulnerabilities often results in an application crashing or the operating system failing?
B.
Um,
Fucker. Crashing. B, but
let me look
because
that up.
memory leaks, as I said, do not always lead to crashing. Integer overflows do not always lead to crashing, and directory transversal do not always lead to crashing, but no pointer dereference usually leads to crashing.
Yeah.
Okay.
A memory leak, it also can accidentally, well, unintentionally give you access to a different memory location when it wasn't supposed to, right?
I wouldn't study this shit from him.
Yeah, this is like crazy. Because I'm even like looking up the answers on ChatGPT as well, and it's not really matching up.
Like he's clarifying correctly in both of these what a
Yeah,
memory
he's
leak
clarifying
is.
it good.
I just don't think he doesn't understand the relationship between the attack vector.
Yeah, it's really weird when you see the explanation. It's like the last 2 sentences he's on point, but like the questions to these answers just are off. I don't. It's really weird. I don't know.
Whatever.
I
When you can look at a test and point out the flaws in it, that means you're doing fine.
Okay. Which of the following is a technique an attacker might... This is going to be the last one too, guys. Which of the following is a technique an attacker might use to manipulate an application's memory in a way that causes it to crash? Okay. So we know that integer overflow is a type of memory vulnerability that causes an application to store information. We know that directory traversal attack allows attackers to read different parts of a server. An API is what? Something that you attack?
Send a message to a server and you get a response back. When you send a message and get a response that you're not supposed to, like, hey, tell me the passwords to all the users on your server. Like, if there's an API attack for that, that's bad. Just basically a communication that is unintentional or bad.
So then that leaves us with D.
Yes,
I
it is
think
D.
Here we go. I like this answer better, or this question better.
Yeah, this one is okay, but integer overflow causes an error, and depending on the way it causes an error, it's exploitable. But yeah.
Okay, that wraps it up, guys. It's been fun. thank you guys so much for coming and reading along. It helps.
Goodbye, Shark Boy. Have a good night.
You too. I'll see you around.